Hey, Culture Gang, welcome to another Saturday episode of Culture Anime. And we decided to switch it up for this episode. Instead of giving you your usual review for Boruto, we decided let's talk about more about what happened in the previous chapter with Naruto. But before we start, guys, it's spoiler heavy. So if you guys didn't read the chapter, I advise you to read Boruto Chapter 77, then come back. But before we start, guys, Rayshawn can always find you at.
You guys can find me on all your podcasting platforms at Rayshawn Gatson Anime Podcast or RGOT for short.
Also, hit the subscribe button, part of the Culture Gang, talk about anime, sports, and that's about too. So for this episode, we want to talk about who's going to be the next Hokage now that Naruto has been sealed away. And now we still have two Hokages that are still alive, and we also have some potential as well too. So the first up is Tsunade, who was the fifth Hokage. I believe she was Hokage for 4 years. Been with Naruto was 13, and she stopped when after the fourth Great Shinobi War. And Tsunade, I don't think she's a good fit. The reason why, during her time, she went through hell. She had to deal with the Akatsuki's and deal with pain destroying the entire village. On top of that, she had to join a war. On top of that, she had to fight Madara, where he cut her ass in half. And after everything that went on, she decided to retire. They gave it to somebody else. We'll talk about him later. And it's about Tsunade. At her age, where she's probably very, very old. Mind you, she was already old when Shippuden came on, all that stuff, and with the first Naruto. I doubt Tsunade wants to deal with that stress again. And this time dealing with Otsutsuki's, I don't think she has it in her to be a Hokage all over again, deal with that stress all over again, and deal with that stress of trying to find Naruto and also how to handle these two crazy ass boys with Boruto and Kawaki. And I'm gonna say it right now, it's a hard no for me. And I don't think she have it in her to be, a Hokage again. And mind you, she hasn't played a pivotal factor at all. She hasn't been mentioned probably a few times in Boruto manga. She hasn't really been an event of a character. To bring her back, I'm not really with it. She, had her time during, the manga in the beginning of Naruto and, in the anime as well, to Shippuden. So it's with Tsunade, I'm gonna say hard no. What's your thoughts on Tsunade?
Tsunade. I kind of agree with what you were saying earlier that she had it kind of rough as a Hokage with just all the shit she had to deal with. Personally, I feel like based on some comments we've seen from Tsunade, is that if someone's going to take over for Naruto, they have to be kind of similar into Naruto's thinking and how the leaf is right now. They definitely need someone with kind of that free type of spirit. And there was one scene earlier on when Tsunade was pissed that Mishiki was in the village, Orochimaru's son. And I don't think that type of mindset could work right now, especially with everything's going on. My third thing, power level. I don't think she was already getting mopped up by Madara. She's not going to be really nowhere near ready to fight the bullshit that's about to happen. But she does have a unique ability of healing that can become important. I will say that I feel like she probably will have to go back to the leaf, but I don't think she will take it, or I don't think it will be given to her at this point in time. But it possibly could if a few other people said no, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. She's been through hell as during her time as Hokage. I don't think she was to deal with the Suzuki's and cold as well too. And Kawaki, she's like, you know what? I did my time. You guys can deal with this. I'm done.
Personally, if I was her, I'll just do what I was doing in Naruto. I'll just go around drinking and shit and just do whatever I want. See if people can even find her, because the only person that could find her before was Jiraiya. And you would think Naruto because it got Sage Mode, but who can find her now? Like she just like said, "Fuck it, I'm not doing that shit." Who can even find her?
Yep. And next up, we have Kakashi, the sixth
Ooh.
Hokage, where during his time was, I say, pretty peaceful. I believe he was Hokage basically, I think, what, 15 plus years until Naruto was able to, graduate, and learn all the things that he had to become Hokage. And Kakashi, I'm gonna say one thing, he still has it. I believe the anime about a year ago, he fought Kashi Koji, and he was able to hold up his own, even without a shotgun gun. And during his time, it was peaceful. Granted, now he doesn't have a shotgun gun, and right now he can't really use Chidori like he once did as well too, and he's not really as powerful as well too. And at the same time, he's tired. This man has been through hell his entire life with war, survival, saving these goddamn kids with Sasuke and Naruto and Sakura when they were younger, like, and doing another war, fighting Obito, fighting Madara. This man is tired as well too. He is past his prime, and Kakashi coming back into the story, we haven't really seen him in Boruto since the beginning with the academy with Boruto trying to, and Mitsuki and all them trying to get the bells from him and all that stuff. Since then, he hasn't really played a pivotal role since then. And for him to come back in, I don't really see it happening right now. I think he's really retired. Granted, when Cole does decide to invade the village, I feel like he'll fight and all that stuff. But to be Hokage again, deal with all that stress, and to have the burden of trying to find Naruto and Hinata as well too, and dealing with these kids, I'm gonna say a hard no for Kakashi as well too. I think he is tapped out as well too. He's done his time. He's like, you know what? I just want to chill my guy in his wheelchair and just go in the hot springs with him. That's it. So for me, I don't think he comes back as Hokage.
Okay, my opinion on Kakashi is a little bit different than yours because I feel like based on kind of what I was saying earlier, who would be like the net? You would need somebody kind of with a similar mindset to Naruto. I feel like Kakashi could be that, and I feel like if Kakashi did take over, it wouldn't be that much of a change because necessarily you can almost keep everybody else where they at and it will still kind of work because you can still have Shikamaru as the advisor, Sakura still handling all her shit, and Sasuke still doing his stuff, and the command stuff won't change. The only thing that would be different is the amount of power that your Hokage has. But one thing I will say though about Kakashi is that I'm not sure about this statement, but I heard this statement in the manga. We haven't really seen Kakashi. I don't know if we haven't at all, or we haven't really seen Kakashi. So Kakashi right now, because like I remember reading something saying Kakashi was gonna have a prominent role eventually. So maybe most likely that could be it, or he's gonna come back stronger or some shit. Because that would be awesome if he came back like stronger or some shit, help the village with some shit. Because I honestly, like I'm gonna say earlier, I do believe if he did take over, it wouldn't be that much of a change. Most of the village already know who Kakashi is. And I feel like he would be able to talk and be able to get people to get rally with him better than most other people.
So when I speak about Kakashi, I'm speaking about Kakashi and Boruto. I'm not speaking about Kakashi overall. Kakashi is one of the greatest characters in all of Naruto. He's the GOAT, one of the greatest, senseis of anime history. So I'm not talking about back in Shippuden, back in the beginning of Naruto. No, I'm talking about Boruto Kakashi right now and where he stands right now. And I just don't think he has it in him. And I don't think he really want to does it again right now. And moving to our next pick, who, as a teenager, defeated one of the Pains. And we thought when he gets older, he's going to be a GOAT. He's going to be something to be reckoned with. And it's our boy who wants to be the 8th Hokage, Konohamaru. And as of right now, it's a hard no for me. No. Once again, that's because he's been a walking L in Boruto. Yes, he has gotten stronger. He's not that powerful yet. And as Hokage, you have to be really powerful. And he's gotten his ass whooped time in and time out this entire series, especially in the anime and the manga as well too. Mind you, Kashikoji burned this man alive, used his own Rasengan against him. And yes, he is the third Hokage's grandson and stuff, and I understand all that, but he's not ready yet. Maybe another 10 years from now, he can probably be the 8th Hokage. As of right now, he is just a walking out for me. And I just don't see him being Hokage just yet. Like I said before, maybe another 10 plus years, yes. But as of right now, starting today and what's going on in the Boruto, I just don't see him as Hokage. And he still has a lot to learn. I think he's still raw and talent as well, too. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say be honest with what you were just saying. Yeah, I don't think he's at the level. I don't even think he's like elite Jonin like Kakashi was.
Yeah.
When he was with Naruto and Shippuden. I just feel like there's some moments where you just be like, man, Konohama, you should do a little bit more than the Rasengan. Like, you should, to me personally, I feel like he should have his own personal jutsu by now to the point where he's like, okay, Because like when Kakashi was in charge, you were like, damn, he has some of the strongest ninjas he can just send out. I mean, his whole team was a beast. When Naruto Hokage, Konohamaru is used, but he's not really getting sent to the real missions. You know what I mean? Like when it's like, oh, we got some shit happening over here. They usually send in like Sasuke, Sai, maybe, or something like that. You're not really seeing Konohamaru. But I mean, he's prominent a little bit because he's in the new Team 7 group. So he is their leader. But I honestly don't think he's acknowledged enough with everyone in the village to be able to take over that role. Like, I feel like he could if a lot of people said no and was like, no, we don't want to. And they just wanted to put somebody in there that kind of had some type of thing to do with the Hokage, because that was kind of what they did with the third. It was like they were trying to come up with people, and then they were like, well, let's go with his students, you know what I mean? And then Jiraiya was like, nah, I don't want that shit. Then you had Tsunade, you got to go find Tsunade. They couldn't do Orochimaru, so Tony Hamro just really hasn't really
No.
proven it to me. Like I haven't really been like, that's yeah, Konohamaru next Hokage. That has never came in my mind. Like, so I'm gonna say I think that's a strong no. No. Maybe he could get stronger. Like if they have some war type shit happen, he might can get stronger during that and change my mind. But to me, he just hasn't had one of those moments, even like a no talk, no jutsu moment where you actually see him actually understanding. Like, I guess you probably won't because it's not his anime, but it just, I just feel like you can't. Even the third Hokage had moments. You know what I mean? It's like he hasn't had nothing. So I'm gonna say no.
Plus, not forget a few chapters ago when he first seen Ada, he just fell out, and that was it. He was knocked out, and like you're the head captain of this mission, and you're knocked out already. And as well too, like you want to compare Konohamaru and Kakashi, like you can name numerous accomplishments he did in Naruto Shippuden as well too. What's the biggest thing he has accomplished in the Boruto series besides the Kashi Koji fight where he got his ass whooped?
Okay. I know I was just talking about how weak Konohamaru is, but based on that statement, I'm gonna say this. Konohamaru is fighting stronger people. If we talk about those Shushki, I don't know if the Kakashi we seen in Shippuden could do. You know what I mean? Like if we had to take those same opponents, because maybe Konohamaru could beat some members of the Akatsuki. You know what I mean? He probably could do that, and that's basically what Kakashi did. But could Kakashi take out Kashi Koji at how old Konohamaru is right now? See, that's the interest. See, he probably could because he had. I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm gonna say I don't know. I was about to say he probably could because he had the Sharingan,
Yeah.
but I mean Kasin Koji he's a perfect sage. That's Jiraiya. I don't know. It probably wouldn't be that easy. You know what I mean? It'd probably be a lot more to that. So I'm gonna say no on Konohamaru.
All
Yeah.
right. So who's your next person that who can be Hokage?
I came up with a few choices of myself who I think could become Hokage based on power level, reputation in the village, and just, status. And the first person I would came up with would be Sasuke. I think this is an interesting pick because we all kind of know Sasuke as the Shadow Hokage. He basically does kind of the similar stuff Danzo did without having to have a whole team to do it. He just does it himself. He basically protects Konoha in the shadows. But one thing I never did notice about Sasuke as of now that he's like in the leaf, Sasuke doesn't have a headband. So I don't know if he's actually a ninja from the leaf or if he can technically even become Hokage. You know what I mean? So that's something that's interesting that I don't know because he might still be technically like a rogue ninja, and just because he's like cool with Naruto, nobody fucks with him type shit. But I know he still like got problems around the world. And one thing when he went on his mission, that was the main reason so that they wouldn't come after him. So I would say that I would love to see Sasuke as Hokage. I think he would really change it up. He'll be the first Sharingan user. He's kind of changed a little bit, so his demeanor might be different, but he might be a lot different than Naruto. Like when it comes to like those moments where you be like, okay, Naruto is gonna talk to them and all this, when Sasuke is probably gonna be like, no, we need to kill him, we need to do something else type shit. So that might change a little bit, but I do still think he still has some of Naruto's good qualities and shit, but I don't think he could become Hokage. And the main reason I'm going to say this is because I don't think it could be approved by the five Kage, just based on all the stuff he's been done. That's my opinion. What about you?
So for me, I'm 25% yes and 75% no. The reason why is ever since Sasuke, we all know him, he can't stay still. And ever since, after the war, he's always been on missions. And he basically hasn't barely been home. He's always on missions. He's basically like the Jiraiya of Naruto right now. He's always on missions, getting intel, preparing, the hidden leaf for anything that can happen as well, too. And for what happened to Naruto, I don't know if you've been reading the manga with Sasuke Retsuden, where he's all out, trying to find a cure for Naruto's sickness. Once Sasuke finds out that Naruto's been gone to another dimension, I think Sasuke's main priority would be trying to rescue Naruto. And I don't think he could be able to sit down in the village knowing that Naruto is gone in another dimension. Like, mind you, they have a deep, deep brotherhood, love for each
Bond.
other. And once he finds out he's gone, I feel like he's not even gonna worry about nothing else but to save Naruto and Hinata as well too. And the notion of him being Hokage, like I said before, I just can't see him sitting on a desk every single day doing paperwork, meetings, and all that stuff. Like it's just not in him. He's the Jiraiya. He has to be on missions. He has to find intel, and he's not somebody who can just stand still, in my opinion. And it would be dope to see because remember he's very knowledgeable and he's very smart as well too. I'm not taking that away from him, but like I said before, it's just in his blood since after the war he's always been on missions, getting intel for him to leave for any danger that could happen to him. So that's my opinion.
I got a question for you. How do you think? Okay, I guess there is a possible, but how do you think Sasuke would be able to look for Naruto?
That
Because
that
right now he lost his Renegon, so he can't use teleportation. That's like because when I was thinking about that, I was like, that's like the one thing that's probably gonna really piss him off that he can't just jump unless he can get Boruto to work with him. But I feel like shit about to happen. Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna be enough time to be like, let's do this. I don't think that's gonna work out. But moving on to my next person, I'm gonna go ahead and go with another member from Team Seven, and that is Sakura. Now that I had a little bit of time to kind of think about this, because my first opinion when I thought this was no, not Sakura. But now that I'm thinking about it, is Sakura actually could become Hokage. And it kind of fits in with a lot of things I was saying. I feel like she kind of has a similar demeanor, which I mean, I feel like she'll still do some of the things Naruto has done in the village. I do think she does have prominent enough strength to be seen as the Hokage, and I feel like she has enough acknowledgement from the people in her village. That'd be like, yeah, Sakura, yeah, I feel like she could be Hokage. And plus it'll kind of go off of her sensei being Hokage, so now she kind of become Hokage. So it kind of seems similar. And within that, I feel like she could fit in with the five Hokage. They wouldn't be like too surprised. I think the only one that's gonna be like, what the fuck? In the five Hokage is Gaara. Gaara's gonna be like, what the fuck? What you mean Naruto's gone? He's probably gonna take that personally. Um, and I feel like she'll be able to coordinate with everybody. Being Hokage, she'll still be able to work with Kakashi, Tsunade, and everybody. I feel like she'll be a okay pick. The only thing I think that could pit her out is really, I guess, power. But technically, power is not supposed to be the main thing. That's not supposed to be like the main thing that makes you Hokage. So I feel like with those other things, circumstances, I feel like she could become Hokage.
So with you picking Sakura, I can 100% agree with it. And mind you, we are talking about Boruto Sakura, not part one on Naruto where she was, screaming, bitching, all that stuff, and Shippuden where she had a few minor, big moments in Shippuden. We're talking about Boruto Sakura where she has shown that she is very, very strong as well too. And the reason why I agree with it is that her sensei was Tsunade, who was the fifth Hokage. So if she need any knowledge or need help or any advice, she could go to Tsunade. And mind you, sure, her ninjutsu when it comes to healing is top notch in the entire village as well too. So that right there is a plus as well too. Also, she has Sasuke by her side. She has Shikamaru. She basically has the hidden leaf behind her back as well too. So I can definitely see that happening as well too. And like I said before, this we're talking about Sakura and Boruto, not
Mhm.
Sakura and Naruto. Big, big, big difference. And her strength alone is something to be reckoned with as well too. She is not something to play with as well too. And also going back to the Sasuke Resident manga, she has been playing a pivotal factor in that manga as well too. So I can see her, being the Hokage for until Naruto comes back as well too.
Mhm. I really think she could do it. Especially with medical ninjutsu being her specialty. If a big situation comes, she could do basically what some Tsunade did and try to protect the village. I think that would be very crucial when these dire situations that are about to come. I think she could definitely get chosen to be. I feel like because they always go into that dark room with them random. You never really see Dever do anything when the village going down. They never there, but they always picking Hokage. Like I feel like I'll be questioning that, but I feel like her name would come up. All right, for my third person, this is somebody we kind of see make a lot of Hokage decisions where you're kind of like, damn, is Naruto even working? Like, you know what I mean? They must be giving Naruto the easy shit and just letting this man do the other shit. I know you guys kind of already know who I'm talking about, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm talking about my boy Shikamaru, the man that likes to watch the clouds. I'm gonna say is that Shikamaru is a type of character that I think would kind of relish in this type of role and being in a leader type of role. But I do think there would be some changes in the village. I don't think Shikamaru would be as lenient as Naruto is. I feel like Naruto kind of pushes Shikamaru to be more lenient, even with this whole Kawaki situation. Like, if Shikamaru was Hokage, I don't think Kawaki he might have been in the village, but I don't think he'd be here as long as he has, especially with all this shit that has happened. I don't think Shikamaru will be like, okay, we need to keep him now. I think that Delta situation would have been like, okay, we need to get that out the fuck out of here. Shikamaru, I think, has enough acknowledgement from a lot of people in the village because they know Shikamaru, they know what he's kind of about. His team is kind of prominent. So I do feel like he would be able to kind of get that role based on acknowledgement. So I want to say yes, but I'm going to pit it in a maybe. And the only reason why I say maybe for Shikamaru is because I honestly, it's a power thing a little bit because he is weaker than a lot of the people we have named ahead of him. But there are some parts in the manga where they say he was able like to hold the five Kage in his shadow possession. So I mean, he do have some feats that we haven't seen yet. But the most important thing about Shikamaru is his mindset and being able to basically come up with plans on the spot, being able to use all his resources, which I think is great. I just don't know if he has that kindness, that thing about Naruto that makes you want to follow him. So I don't know if that's what Shikamaru has. But there are a lot of people that be like, because Tamari be like, you would be a great Hokage. And I think he would be, though. Like with his mindset and everything. But that's just my opinion right now. What about you, man?
Oh, with Shikamaru, it's the safest pick
You think he's the
because
safest pick?
he's been advisors for two Hokages, Kakashi and
True.
Naruto. So he knows what it entails to be in Hokage. And don't forget, he's the best strategist in the entire village. So he already knows what to do in a dreadful situation as well. And obviously, he's been dealing with the whole Kawaki, Code, Ada, and Damon situation. So he's already prepared for this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw a little curveball on this. If Shikamaru is the Hokage, I could see Ino as his advisor.
What did he say?
Why? Because mind you, Ada can hear everything, see everything, and mind you, she can't really see when they're talking telepathically as well too. So mind you, they might be in the room talking, but the whole time it would just be quiet and just them talking through their minds as well too. So that right there can play an advantage against Ada. So I don't know if you see
Yeah.
the people in the clubs where they're just wearing headphones and goggles and stuff, and they're just dancing, but there's no music just inside of them. I think that can happen with them because right there, it can throw off Ada. Like, well, what are they talking about? I don't know what they're doing and all that stuff. So I think Ino can play, a big factor into this and possibly be an advisor for Shikamaru. Right now, the situation I can see he's kind of failing that is Amato's situation because Amato has been weaseling his way around through everything. So right there, I would not give him a passing grade. Besides everything else, Shikamaru has been doing a great thing for the village as well too, and also holding it down. And another thing as well too, I don't think Hokage will be named until all this BS is with this. Because right now it's gonna be pure mayhem, especially with Naruto being gone, Hinata, Boruto versus Kawaki, Cold invading. So once all this BS is done, I think before the time skip they'll announce the new Hokage, which is a safer pick, Shikamaru.
I think that is interesting, your way of going about it. And I would agree. I mean, he has the most experience with dealing with the Hokages, dealing with this situation, dealing with all the characters that are involved. I think he would be a good pick. I'll put him in there. I'll still put him as a maybe. But I'm gonna say this based on what we seen from the scene where Kawaki basically tells Boruto, he was like, I'm gonna send you to the same place I sent the Hokage. And you're looking in the background. And we still only see Naruto is the only Hokage like up on the thing. So maybe that you're kind of right with saying that they're probably not gonna name a new Hokage yet, but there's gonna have to be a leader. Once everyone knows Naruto's gone, someone's gonna have to take up that leadership. And whoever really can do that is going to basically be able to, who's going to probably become Hokage because they're going to have the most command. And people are going to be like, when the situation hit, they took control because that's honestly what we're going to need. But one thing I will say is I think it's going to be a while, kind of what you were saying before they pick the Hokage, is because I think they're going to really want to know if Naruto's dead before they give a new Hokage, especially with all the people who did everything in the world to get Naruto to Hokage, especially Shikamaru. I think it's going to take he's dead for them to be like, okay. But then I feel like that's when shit gonna hit the fan. Like people are gonna do some shit they never done before once they hear Naruto's dead. Like, cause that's a lot of people's life. Like Shikamaru just that's like probably most of the even the reasons why he even does what he do. Like if Naruto wasn't Hokage, I don't even think he'd be advisor right now. So I think it's gonna be a while before that. And I think right now Shikamaru probably would be the best for right now because I think everybody else is kind of gone. Maybe Sasuke, but I think Kakashi, what guy, and Tsunade, just what her aide. I can't even think of her name right now, but they just chilling right now. But I feel like once they hear Naruto is gone, this is gonna be a whole world thing. Like I think every village is going to have some type of reaction to this. I don't know if it's going to be positive or negative, but I know every village is going to have a reaction because Naruto is looked at as the strongest person, the god of shinobi, and he was just taken out. So that means anybody can be taken out. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on it.
Or Boruto can throw a curveball and Shikamaru tells Konohamaru, we need you to use your Shadow Clone Jutsu and transform yourself to Naruto until we find him.
That'd be interesting.
Hey, he did it before when Himawari knocked him out for the Hokage ceremony, so it could happen again.
See, I don't know how long he could pull it off. See, that was easy to do it then because you go around talking to people and they be like, "That's Naruto." I feel like people be like, "I don't know," like you know what I mean. But it's one of the most interesting things because you're wondering what's really gonna happen with Naruto. Who's gonna take over this thing? Because it's basically kind of what happened with Danzo. When Danzo basically became the proxy Kage, then he died and they didn't even name him. So it's like, dang. But see, Naruto was so much more loved. Like, if you remember the scene where he had to stop tuning exams and you just hear the village, everybody in the village like, Naruto, it's over, it's done. You don't have to do this. Like, these people were crying, trying to be like, Naruto, please don't, nothing happened to you. And then like So I'm gonna just say I think Naruto is probably, if not one of the most beloved Kage, he's up there. Like so it's gonna be really sad if he's gone.
All right, so real quick, if you had to throw a wild card Hokage, who would it be?
Oh, wild card. I think this was my wild card one because we kind of seen this in the last chapter. I think a wild Kage, they'd be like, we need the strongest person in the village. And they was like, who is that? And Damon be like, get Himawari up here.
What did he say?
Himawari up here. He need to be the next Kage. Yeah, sleeping on a goat, right? I'll be like, oh, okay. I see this.
You know who my wild card would be?
Who?
Orochimaru.
That would be interesting if he was like, yeah, I can't have these other motherfuckers. I need to take over it. And finally, like,
he'll come in and be like, hey guys, my bad for raiding a couple decades ago. I apologize. I was young. I just wanted to kill a couple people, do some little experiments, but I'm a changed man now. I'm here to save the village.
I think he could if he came in like a boss. Like if he came in and like the Shukis were killing people and he just like came in and stopped one out of nowhere. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to protect my village when they're not here. You'd be like, oh, okay, this is what Orochimaru been doing for these last few years, waiting for this moment. Yeah, I love that. Because to me, he has a lot of things that could be helpful as a Hokage. Like if he really helped the Leaf and stuff, like, I mean, he has a jutsu where he can send immortal ninjas out there to fight the motherfuckers. So, like, while the 10 tail whatever clones or whatever he created, they're basically fighting like the first Hokages and shit like that. Because my boy can send that shit out there. Like, Orochimaru got some nasty abilities. Like if you were picking based on abilities. Yeah, I think even Kabuto, like Kabuto, we gotta rethink of Kabuto might be like, wait a minute, like what y'all talk about? He got the Orochimaru might have the strongest, like the Edo Tensei Jutsu. But Kabuto might be stronger too with more of the Sage Jutsu. So that's just an interesting combo. I think you need both of them because I feel like maybe Kabuto would be his advisor, but maybe not. Because, I think that if that two worked out like that, like Kabuto and Orochimaru, y'all might be good for a while. I might not have to worry because I feel like Orochimaru already has like enough intel about what them things can do. He probably might not even need a model, or he might can fact check a model himself without even having Ada be like, "What you say?" That's bullshit. Like what? Oh, okay, that would be funny. But I think that's an interesting pick you picked though, Orochimaru. I didn't even think about Orochimaru.
All right, and else you want to bring up?
I heard an interesting idea of maybe Gaara, the sand taking over for the Leaf while Naruto's gone. And I was like, that would be interesting. I don't know how they would pull that off because I don't know if they would be like, let's all go a part of the sand type feel because that'd be like kind of uniting two villages.
Yeah.
And that'd probably be kind of hard, especially with a lot of the old heads. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, you know, like, you know what I mean? But that would be interesting if Gaara was like, that's my best friend. Nobody like really is strong enough to be Hokage right there. I'll hold it down for him until he come.
Interesting, but that happened. Like, we're diving deep into politics if Gaara was supposed to get to Hidden League because right there, mind you, different country. Hey, I'm the captain over here. Like, whoa, my man, you're from the sand. This is the Hidden Leaf. Like, no. So we're getting into deep politics if that was to even happen.
Yeah, that would be a lot for that to happen because I feel like the when they be like getting the big lords, I can't even think what they call, but they would probably have to approve. A lot of people would probably have to approve before that even became a thing. But that's just my out there pick. But I know their relationship out there is pretty cool. And the Himawari pick, I think that would be hilarious. That would make people laugh. I would laugh my ass off. Or, you know, would be interesting. Oh, you know, it'd be super interesting. I just thought, what if a motto became Hokage?
Oh my
like, if all this was in the plan, he was like, as soon as the sushi come, he throw out some new equipment. Like, yeah, I got this shit. We got Ada. I got Damon. Oh, that would be crazy.
So comment below, guys. Tell me, who you think will be the next Hokage, and also what you think about our takes as well too. And before we end this, guys, Sean, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on all your podcasting platforms at Rayshawn Gatson Anime Podcast, or RGAT for short. You can also find me on Instagram at RGAP2. That's RGAP2.
Also hit the subscribe button, part of the coaching until my anime, sports, and there's as well too. And this is Culture Anime.
Peace!